guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are well and I hope you guys are staying safe. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys another detailed tutorial. However, before I get to the details of that, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do well to hit the subscribe button, okay, as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out on the awesome content that I have for you. To all my OGs, welcome back. You guys are amazing. So like I said, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make the pants that I'm wearing now, and it's a two-piece set using the box top and the pants. If you want a tutorial on the box top or the crop top, let me know, but I'm going to put a video of what the pants look like and you guys can let me know how I did and how I look as well. I'm heading out for an event, so I thought to do this intro real quick. All right guys, enjoy the video.
Alright guys, so you need the following items. You need your measuring tape, you would also need your fabric scissors, you need some interfacing or airstay, you need your lining. Because I'm wearing this during the winter, I need it to be fully lined. You need some pins, you'd also need your pin magnet or pin cushion, you need your pattern, and this is the pattern that we made last week. If you haven't seen the video, go ahead and watch it. And of course you need some fabric. Now this event, they say a touch of red for the dress code, so I've gone ahead to get the Ankara that has red. And one thing is, as a rule of thumb, we're going to be starting with the back piece, and for the back piece the goal is to have at least 2 times the waist measurement at the top. You could go 3 times if you want to go crazy, however you want a minimum of 2 times the waist measurement. So go ahead and fold your fabric over. You want to fold it into 2, and the goal is you want to have, like I said, at least 2 to 3 times the waist measurement at the top. Okay, so at the opposite side of the crotch, you want to make sure that it's wide enough and it's 2 or 3 times the waist measurements. So pin your pattern onto the fabric. I'm starting with the back piece of pattern, pinned it onto the fabric properly. I made sure that I had enough fabric. To be fair, I think I cut about 2 yards of the fabric actually, and then I pinned it in place. So after cutting out 2 yards of the fabric, I folded the 2 yards into 2, and then on the wrong side I pinned the pattern onto it, cut out the crotch and the side, but then I left the other side wide, as you can see now. So I only cut out the top, and that's because, like I said, you need it just to be wide and straight for this kind of pants. So at the other end where it's folded, I'm just cutting it or slitting it open, and that's all you need to do, just slit it open. So again, most of the measurements and everything you'll be doing will be on the other side that has the crotch, and all you have to do is 1/2 inch around the crotch and 1/2 inch at the bottom. So this is me just trimming it off to make sure I have the right allowance. And then one thing you'll notice is at the top, I just checked to see that at least I have 2 times the waist. So based on what I measure for the waist, which is 11, I have a bit over 2 times the waist. I actually have about 2.5 of the waist. Actually, I found out that it was a bit too big. I did reduce it later, but like I said, I recommend having 2 times the waist. So moving on to the front piece, let's go ahead and get another 2 yards folded into 2, and on the wrong side you want to go ahead and pin the front pattern onto it. So we're pinning it as close as possible to the edge with the crotch, and the bottom piece. Now after pinning the pattern onto it, you want to go ahead and mark 1/2 inch sewing allowance around the crotch area, as well as 1/2 inch around the inseam or the inside leg. After doing that, you want to go ahead and cut off that side, and then for the top you also want to cut off the waist area, so you want 1/2 inch around the waist. Now remember again that you want to make sure that you have the waist measurement times 2 at the minimum or times 3 at the maximum. So what you have is like just extra wide fabric looking like that. So again, split your fabric into 2 so you have them separated, and then we're going to go ahead and start cutting the lining. So like I said earlier, it's November, it's absolutely freaking cold in London, and then I decided I wanted to line this fully so that it gives me a little bit of warmth when I was wearing it out, right? Or it gave me a little bit of warmth when I was wearing it out. So I went ahead to fold my lining just like I did, and then I made sure to place the lining at the bottom and then the Ankara on top of it. Now one thing you'll notice instantly is that my lining is short, and that's what I wanted. I need the lining to be about 2 inches shorter than the Ankara so that this takes in the Ankara a little bit. Obviously I'm only 5'4", guys, so for me it was perfect. So again, cut your lining so that the lining is exactly the same width as the Ankara but 2 inches shorter in length, right? So same thing as the Ankara, use the Ankara as a template to cut the lining, but then reduce the length of your lining if yours is longer. But mine was already 2 inches shorter, so that worked for me, as you can see. So now that we cut the lining for the front, you want to go ahead and cut the lining for the back as well. And now that all the lining pieces are cut, the next thing we're going to go do is cut out the band. So to cut out the band is pretty basic. You want to go ahead and take your fabric, fold it into two, and make sure you're folding on the wrong side. So depending on how wide you want your band, if you want your band to be about 4 inches wide when you're done, then you want to do 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance, which is 9, right? So I didn't want my band to be that big, so I went with a total measurement of about 6 inches, including the sewing allowance. That means that when I finish, the finished product of my band would be 2.5 inches, and then I have an extra 1 inch for the sewing allowance. I hope that makes sense. So again, if you want your finished product of your band to be 3 inches, you do 3 times 2 plus 1, which will be 7. Okay, after cutting out the fabric for the band, I made sure the length was wider, but the height was fine. I went ahead to cut out my air stay as well. Next thing to do is to iron on the interfacing or the air stay onto the fabric, so this gives it a little bit of hold and makes it firm. And then after giving it a good iron, I also ironed the right side just to make sure it's all good. Now after ironing, we're going to go ahead and trim off all the excess interfacing on the fabric, and just make sure you cut as close as possible to the fabric. At this point, it's important that I mention that this fabric for the waist is actually bigger than my waist at the moment. I haven't reduced it or measured it yet, but I just know that I have 36 inches, which is like a yard. So that works for me as well. So at this point, what I was doing was just folding it over so that I could cut out the amount I need for my waist measurement. So I just measured my waist measurement plus 2 inches allowance for sewing allowance and excess. And then I went ahead to cut out what I needed for my waist. Now that the waist measurement is cut out, we're going to go back to the back piece, and we're going to go ahead and start sewing. We've cut out all our pieces. So for the back piece, I wanted to mark out the wrong side of the Ankara fabric, which is what I did with my tailor's chalk. And then I took out the pins of the pattern. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually sew each piece of Ankara to the corresponding piece of lining, right? So go ahead and take the Ankara piece. You want to make sure that you have the right side of the Ankara, and then you place the lining on it. So the right side of the Ankara facing right side of the lining, and then you pin them together at the edge, right? So we're doing this all at the bottom of the trouser bottom, and we're pinning it together all the way from one side to the other side. Now after pinning on the wrong side, so again the right sides are facing each other on the inside, we're going to go ahead to sew this on 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So make sure you put your sewing machine and sew it on 1/2 inch. So as you guys can see, I'm sewing with my Janome HD9 heavy duty professional sewing machine. I love this baby. You guys must have seen her in all my videos. Does an amazing job. After sewing it, this is what it looks like. I've sewn it, and I'm going to flip it over to the right side. So when you flip it to the right side and then you match or align the crotch area and the waist, one thing you'll notice is that the lining kind of pulls the Ankara in, and then you have that going in around the edge. Now the next thing we're going to do is sew around the crotch and the waist so that it holds it in place and it doesn't move when we're working with it. So at this point, I'm just holding the crotch in place with the lining, so the Ankara and the lining together. I'm sewing it on the right side, but I'm only sewing on 1/4 inch allowance. And then I'm also doing it on this point as well. So I'm also sewing on 1/4 inch on the waist just to hold the Ankara and the lining together. So after sewing it, that's what it looks like. And like I mentioned earlier, you guys can also do this on the other side as well, the corresponding side of the back piece. So this is the back piece that we're working on. So you want to do that for the left and the right hand side. Now after doing that, you want to go ahead and place the crotch together. It's easier to manage, and pin the crotch of the back pieces together. Then after pinning the crotch, we're going to go ahead and sew it on 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So this is me. I've gone ahead to sew it, and I'm now using my overlocker to put it together so that it's nice and tidy. Again, this overlocker is the Air Thread 2000D by Janome. I absolutely love it. Look guys, look at that finishing. So after sewing the crotch, this is what it looks like, and we're going to have the gathers, and this is what the pants will look like. So you can see the crotch in the middle, and then just with the gathers, just imagine what it's looking like. I'm in love already. I love it. Tell me guys, what do you guys think as well? And that's the hem that I showed you guys. So let's move on to the front piece. So for the front piece, very similar business we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take out all our pins, and then we're going to go ahead and mark the wrong side of the Ankara fabric so that we don't mix it up with the right side. That's one thing about Ankara, it looks alike, so if you're not careful, you end up sewing on the wrong side, right? And we don't want to do that. So yeah, go ahead and then match the right side of the front of the Ankara to the front of the lining and sew it on 1/2 inch, just the same way we did for the back piece. After doing that, you also want to go ahead and sew the crotch piece in place as well as the waist so that they don't move. Next, you want to take the crotch for the front and the crotch for the front pieces, and then hold them together. Remember, there are 2 front pieces, so you want to go ahead and pin the crotch together and then sew it on 1/2 inch sewing allowance. After sewing, you want to overlock. Now that the crotch or the front piece is done, and again, I made this faster because I did it all in the back piece, so the same thing you did. The next thing we're going to do is put the trouser pieces together. So I'm folding over so you guys can see the crotch. The first one is the back crotch, and as you can see, it's obviously bigger, and the second one is the front crotch. So you want to go ahead and pin the crotch together and then pin it all the way to the trouser bottom. So what you're pinning now is called the inside leg. That's the part that stays, underneath the crotch, right? So you pin that all the way to the hem or the trouser bottom, and you do it on the other side as well. So you want to make sure you pin it all the way, and after pinning, of course, we're going to go ahead and sew it on a sewing machine on 1/2 inch sewing allowance, which is what we left, right, for the sewing allowance. And after sewing, again, one thing I like to do is I like to go in with my overlocker and give it a nice clean finish. If you don't have an overlocker, you might be first to use like a zigzag, or even finish it with like a bias strip, or even maybe using zigzag scissors or pinking shears or one of those things. But there's so many ways to finish like your fabric. Now, after showing the inseam, this is what it looks like. Our trousers is coming together nicely, and again, this is the lining that we used. So we're going to go over to the edge or the outseam or the outside leg, and for that we're going to go over and pin it in place, starting from the hem all the way to the top. Just pin it in place. Now on this side of it, which is the right hand side, I went ahead to pin it on 1 inch all the way. So mark my 1 inch sewing allowance all the way to the end and then pin it in place, and we're going to sew it all the way down. However, on the other side, we're going to do something similar, but we're going to leave space for the zipper. So from the top, which is the waist, go ahead and mark 7-8 inches depending on you. So I marked 8 inches for me, and then from that 8 inches point, we're going to mark 1 inch all the way down, and from that 8 inches mark, we're going to go ahead and sew it all the way down. So we're not sewing above the 8 inches mark, no, because that's where the zipper is going to be. We're sewing below the 8 inch mark all the way to the trouser bottom, and this is how we make the outside leg for this. Alright guys, so like I mentioned, go ahead and sew it from that 8 inch mark all the way down. So after sewing, this is the side that has the stitch all the way down, and this is the side that has like the opening for the zipper allowance. Flip your pants over to the right side, and it's time for us to do the gathers. I personally don't like sewing gathers, but you know what, I found out that I have to do a lot of gathers because of the kind of styles that I like. So you know what, let's get with the program. So to sew your gathers, you're going to go ahead and have gathers all over the waist, and then you have your trousers looking good. Can you guys imagine it already? Now the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have like your waist together, pin all the places that are supposed to be pinned, and then all the places with the overlocker, you want to go ahead and just tuck it in. Now for sewing gathers, your sewing machine, it's important that it's on the loosest stitch. So I tend to put mine on 5 or 6, the stitch width, and then I go ahead to sew a straight line. When I'm sewing the straight line, I don't use my reverse lever, so I don't lock it in the beginning and the end, and I also make sure to leave some thread dangling in the beginning and the end. Another important tip is I tend to go over this twice, so I do 2 stitches just in case one breaks while I'm pulling the gathers. So if it helps you, you can use a gathers foot if you have a gathers foot. However, this is the method that works for me, and this is what I like. Let me know what you guys like in the comment section. So what I do, like I said, put my machine on gathers and then go ahead and sew 2 stitches without locking. Now when I do that, I find this bobbin stitch, which is the stitch at the bottom, and then I go ahead and pull the 2 threads concurrently, so pulling them at the same time. And when I pull them to do a bit of gathers, I push the gathers with my other hand. So it does take a bit of time and a bit of practice to get into this groove, but once you get it, you're good. You want to pull firmly enough to like push the fabric, yeah, but you also want to make sure not to break the thread. So finding that right balance without breaking the thread is important. Also, again, remember that I said that we're doing 2 stitches just in case you break your fabric. You actually have an extra stitch as a backup, right? So keep pulling those gathers, pull the gathers, which is what I'm doing now, and then when you're done, you should have, you know, your waist measurement in gathers. By the time you're done, it should just be exactly your waist measurement, and then you know you're gone or you're good. All right, guys, you want to go ahead and check that the measurement you have for the gathers is just your waist measurement plus an extra 2 inches for the zipper allowance. Once you're done with that and you're happy with it, place it on the table. And the last thing to do is to attach the band onto the trousers. So for your band fabric, you want to go ahead and get that. And the one thing you want to do is get your waist measurement plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance and an extra 2 inches for the zipper allowance. When I do that and mark all of that, the excess I have is just that little bit I cut off. Fold the band fabric into 2, making sure the right sides are facing each other, and then go ahead and sew it on the wrong side on 1/2 inch allowance, which was the extra 1 inch we left for that, right? Now, after sewing, go ahead and cut off or trim off any excess fabric, and then we're going to turn it over inside out to the right side. Now, after turning it inside out to the right side, the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is pull out any sharp corners so that it's really nice and crisp. And obviously, if it helps you, go ahead and give it a good iron at this point, which is what I did. Fold the band fabric into 2 and find the center by giving it a good notch or just marking it with your tailor's chalk, whatever works for you. And then starting at the edge, you want to go ahead and place your band on the inside, starting at the exact edge. This is going to be our zipper allowance part, okay? Which is why we also added zipper allowance onto the band. So go ahead and pin this onto the wrong side of the trouser, and then you want to go ahead and match the notch or the mid notch on the band to the midpoint of the trouser. So that's the other part that we sewed fully on the trousers. Now, after matching it to the midpoint of the trouser, we're going to go ahead and space the gathers where necessary, making sure the gathers form, and pin it in place if you want. Now, the next thing we're going to do is sew this in place. So again, we're sewing this on the right side, but remember that the band is on the inside or the wrong side, so you can actually see a little bit of the lining there. So you want to go ahead and carefully sew this in place, making sure the gathers are kind of uniform all through. Okie dokie, guys, so after sewing that, you want to go ahead and lock it in place, and this is what it looks like. The next thing for us to do is to, you know, trim off all this excess fabric here, get rid of that properly, and then we're going to fold this over and top stitch onto the right side. Again, at this point, it's very important that you do it carefully. So this is me top stitching on the right side, and you want to make sure that it's all neat and nice and, you know, nicely done. Really, if it helps you, like I said earlier, give it a good iron so you can, you know, fold that over in place and iron it in place. But this is me just making sure that I top stitch onto the right side. And yeah, at this point the pants are usually done. The last thing we'll do will be to add the zipper, and I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. However, if you want a zipper tutorial, I do have that, and I'm going to link it in the iCards above, and you guys can actually watch the zipper tutorial. So like I said, carefully top stitching, guys. I can never ever overemphasize the importance of learning how to sew straight lines and top stitch properly. If that's something that you struggle with, let me know, and I might be able to share a few tricks that would help you guys do that properly. All right, guys, so at this point I'm just trimming the pants at the bottom and just seeing what we have, and as you can see, it looks really neat. The finishing is nice, if I can say so myself. And the last thing we have to do is to add the zipper to this opening, and the zipper is going to get all the way to the band. So for this, I've opted to use my invisible zipper. I know that a lot of you don't like it and it can be a pain. However, if it's installed properly, you would have no issue. So this is it after installing the invisible zipper. As you can see, it looks really nice. If you want an updated tutorial on that as well, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to make a tutorial for you guys. All right, guys, we've come to the very end of this tutorial. This is the final verdict. What do you guys think? I love the look of it. I absolutely love the feel of it. It was really comfortable. I paired it with a crop top that I made as well from the same fabric. I don't have a tutorial for the crop top, but if it's something that you want, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to make a tutorial for that crop top for you guys. All right, guys, until next week, be good, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and speak soon. Bye, guys.